I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's square up students and youth culture. 8 Democrats back GOP Don't Say Trans bill requiring schools to out trans students. A controversial Republican-backed bill that critics are calling the Don't Say Trans bill has passed the U.S. House of Representatives with support from 8 Democrats. H.R. 2616, also known as the Parental Rights Over the Education and Care of Their Kids Act, or the Protect Kids Act, cleared the House last week. If approved by the Senate and signed into law by the President, the measure would ban federally funded schools from teaching, quote, concepts related to gender ideology, end quote. LGBTQ advocacy groups warned that the bill would effectively erase acknowledgment of transgender identities in public schools across the United States. The legislation would also require teachers and school staff to notify parents if a student identifies as transgender at school. All 209 Republicans voted in favor of the bill, while 198 of 206 Democrats opposed it. The 8 Democrats who joined Republicans included Representatives Henry Cuellar of Texas, Don Davis of North Carolina, Cleo Fields of Louisiana, Laura Gillen of New York, Vicente González of Texas, Marcy Kaptur of Ohio, Gluesenkamp Perez of Washington, and Eugene Vindman of Virginia. Vindman's vote drew particular attention because he had previously spoken publicly in support of queer inclusion. In a statement posted online, Mike Zamore of the American Civil Liberties Union criticized the legislation. He also urged the Senate to reject it. Well, it's disheartening to know that there are Dems who would actually be, you were talking about before Republicans and Democrats. But these are not Republicans, these are Repugnicans. Mm-hmm. These are the worst people alive. And we must say the names of these Democrats and hold them accountable at election time. Yeah. Henry Cuellar of Texas, Don Davis of North Carolina, Cleo Fields of Louisiana, Vicente González of Texas, Eugene Vindman of Virginia, and the hateful hag trio of Laura Gillen of New York, Marcy Kaptur of Ohio, and Gluesenkamp Perez of Washington. Remember them and vote them out of office.
I'm disappointed in those 8, but I'm also disappointed that the other that it was unanimous. Like really, there weren't 3, 6. There was nobody that thought that maybe trans people deserve a life and to be treated humanly. Like that's also not only that there were these dissenters, but that there weren't any dissenters in the other group.
And I also want to point out, looking at those names going through there, what I take a look at when I see all of those, the names of the specific Democrats, there's one through line that runs through each and every one of those. And that is battleground district. Mm-hmm. They have somebody on the inside, their pollster is telling them, you swing too far left on this, you don't get reelected. Here's the thing. Voters appreciate somebody who's got the balls to actually stand up for something. At the end of the day, having balls and being able to say something like that will reward you at the end of the day, because voters will see that you actually have gumption and not just, oh, I need to run this through my general consultant to see if I can say yes.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. They're going to get primaried if they don't, or maybe they won't get, anyway, they're going to perhaps lose their seat. But the thing is that LGBTQ plus issues, especially trans issues, are still considered a boogeyman. And I think that it's going to take at least a couple 5 to 10 years for it to become an issue where you can have some gumption and buck the trend. I don't think we're there yet. I really don't.
And I am a queer person. I'm gay. That's not an ideology.
I didn't know you were gay.
I came out today.
Are you?
It's not but that's not an ideology. That is just my life. You know what I mean? I'm married to a man. That's not an ideology. That is just my life. Right. I have been HIV positive for decades. It's not an ideology. It's just my life. And when you threaten funding for medications, you're threatening my life.
Right.
Like, so this idea that this gender ideology, you mean that they exist? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about people's lives and doing things that this transphobic legislation and speech does not do any good for anyone, but it does hurt trans humans.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's us for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.